you don't anymore.
Yeah.
And then, you know, down the spiral we go.
Well, that was what Painkiller, was for me. The show I did about Purdue Pharma, and the Sackler family. It's interesting. Just today, what's the date today? What is it? The
16th.
The 16th. So today on the way over here, someone sent me a New York Times article about a new twist in the opioid epidemic. These companies that serve as the middlemen between the doctors and between the prescribers and the insurance companies. There are these companies that control what the insurance companies will allow to be prescribed. So if the doctor says you should have 250, you should be able to take 250 milligrams of Oxycontin a day, these companies are in charge of regulating whether the insurance companies will pay for that. So they've got this incredible power. And there's three main companies, can't remember the names of them, but it's just today in the paper. And now it came out in the Times today that the Sacklers and other drug companies were bribing these guys to restrict the amount of pills that were allowed to be prescribed. So they would get paid off, and they would allow these incredible prescriptions to be put through and the insurance companies to pay for them. So it's just more of a game within a game within a game.
Damn. When you made that, I mean that exposed a lot of shit to the public that people weren't really thinking about. I mean, when you make something like that, do you have any fear?
A little bit. For a minute, I did.
You're fucking with some really powerful people.
So at first I didn't, right? It's like people said, well, when you went to Iraq, were you scared? And I said, well, not really, because there were 20 Navy SEALs around me all the time, and I felt pretty safe. When I got back and I kind of really looked at the map and figured out, I felt a little more nervous. But in the moment, I didn't feel nervous. Probably should have felt a little more nervous, but I felt very safe with the guys. The Sacklers, at first I'm like, well, yeah, these guys are fucking scumbags. Fuck them. Let's make a movie and let's tell the truth. I have friends that have died from drug addiction, and I don't give a fuck, and let's go. I'm not scared. The more research I did, the more nervous I got, because they're just like, these are like real mobsters. These are the real Pablo Escobars, the real drug dealers that are, putting up numbers much larger than the Medellin cocaine cartels, the companies like Purdue and the Sackler families. So the more I learned about just how powerful and quiet they were, and what kind of masterminds at secrecy, like you still, if you try and, search Richard Sackler, they're so fucking scrubbed that you'll get virtually nothing on them. And they just constantly cycle that. And I've yet to find anyone who's better scrubbed as far as, internet than Richard Sackler, the kingpin of the Sackler family. But so the more I learned, the more nervous I got. And there was a moment where I was literally paranoid, and I'm like checking my back and like making sure doors are locked, and, and having access to security if I felt threatened. And then I realized, like, if they want to get me, they're going to get me.
Yeah.
And kind of by the time we really got going, the wave was really getting big, and people were finally starting to say the name Sackler and realize just how dirty and corrupt this family was. And I felt I think all of us involved felt at least